Hello everyone, my name is Alberto, welcome back to my channel. I took out these overalls that I had made in a previous video. I will link it up here somewhere. I washed them, haven't pressed them, that's why they're all crinkly. But I haven't worn them much. The reason being that it is a vintage pattern and the bottom hem is huge. They're a straight leg but very, very wide. You can see here how big it is. And I just don't think it suits me very well or looks very nice on me, especially with overalls. So I decided to modify them. You can see inside there's two types of seams. One is stitched down, the external leg, and the internal leg is open. So we're gonna work on that one. What I did is I worn them. I marked, I like the top leg, so I'm not gonna touch it. I marked where my knee is with a pin. That's very important. And I just put a pin in it. You could put some chalk if you prefer, but a pin works perfectly fine. And then I closed the amount I wanted to take out with another pin and pin it to the side just to check nicely. But you really just need to pin the amount you want to get rid of. So once that's done, I'm gonna take some measuring tool and just measure. I have marked 7 centimeters on the closed leg, which is 14 on the whole leg. Turn one of the legs inside out so I can keep the one I used for measurements to check. I'm gonna mark the knee on this one as well. And then I'm gonna mark what is the amount I want to take out. Pin the leg shut, that way I avoid it shifting and moving around too much, and this keeps it sort of quite nice. And then I'm gonna join the two bits I marked with a simple straight line, and this is gonna be our new inside seam. So once that's done, make also sure to put your sewing allowance. Your seam allowance needs to be the same as the one you had on the rest of the leg. That's quite important. And then we can just cut off the rest. Very, very simple. Cut everything off, and this is gonna be our new hem. So if you do it to the knee like this, you'll run into a bit of a problem that I'll show you in a second. It's not a big deal to me, but you might want to think about it first. So we're just going to report the same exact measurements on the other leg. I'm going to use the bit I cut off as sort of a guide to make sure they're exactly the same. And that way we will have cut both of them. It's a very, very quick process, very easy. And once that is done, we are gonna move on to the sewing machine. So onto the sewing machine, you will see that now when we join the seam to the old one, we can just follow the new line we have, keeping the same seam allowance, and that way we're gonna have our whole new seam. That's gonna be our new pant leg, basically. Just very simple, straight seam. Make sure everything matches and make sure to match the hem. That's quite important. I'm not opening the hem and redoing it because it's a very sort of utilitarian denim. I don't really care about it, but you could do that. I would if it was a fancier item. Now, as you can see, the problem I talked about before is this little bump here. This happens because the leg was almost completely straight. And when we narrow it from the knee, we get this sort of funny shape. If you don't like that, the reason, the way to take it off is to either start at the crotch or higher up, so you get a much gentler angle, and that way it's basically invisible. However, I do not mind it, and you'll see in the end, because it gets a sort of very specific shape that I think it's kind of fun and sort of flattering on overalls. That said, once that's done, we're gonna unpick the rest of the old seam, because there's gonna be a bit that comes off to the point we cut, and that way will allow us to open the seam completely, and we can go on to overlock the edges. This will give us the same exact sort of finish we had before. You don't need to do this on denim. You could use pinking shears, you could zigzag it, or you could even leave it raw. It would fray a bit, but again, it is denim. This is just sort of even, nice finish, and I'm used to sort of overlock everything, so I just do that. At the bottom, what you could do is also put a couple stitches on the hem in order to keep it nice and flat, but as I said, again, I don't really care how this looks. You cannot really tell from the outside, so it doesn't really matter. So once that's done, we're gonna overlock all the seams on both legs, and this is the final result. This shape is what I was telling you before. You end up with this sort of taper, strong taper, which gives more of a like a carrot shaped leg, which I quite like. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. I hope this was useful for you. You can see how much we took off. It's very simple and easy. It's just a fix, but you know, it works wonders for the fit. So thank you for watching. I hope the video was useful for you. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe if you aren't. That's a great help for me. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.